I have a huge topic to talk about. I know many others have posted their own viewpoints and everything, but I'm going to be basing my viewpoint off of everything else. However, this is still going to be my own. Stellar Blade director responds after patch censors holiday rabbit outfit. Claims updated design was always intended as final version. We know this is not true. In a development that suggests that there are truly no heroes left in man, following the discovery that a patch censored the game's holiday rabbit outfit, Stellar Blade director Hyun Tae Kim, who, by the way, is trying very hard to fight this whole thing. I'll show later of what I am talking about. Um, has claimed that he always intended for the updated, less risque version of the costume to be its final design. As seen in both the game's demo and its unpatched on disc release, the original version of the Honey Rabbit outfit provided Stellar Blade protagonist Eve with a hooded leotard featuring a bunny tail pom-pom on its back and a plunging, cleavage heavy neckline at the front. Basically, this is the Holiday Rabbit, for those of you wondering. Following the release of the game's Day 1 patch, the same one that censored the game's hard graffiti graphic due to concerns that one particular instance of the image could be taken in bad faith as a reference to the N-word, which is wrong because these game activists who are posing as journalists, but in reality they are activists, threw a hissy fit, and they should have been ignored like the activists that they are, because they don't represent gamers. They don't. Players soon found that rather appearing as it did originally, the Honey Rabbit now covers up Eve's chest with a lacy undershirt and extends out towards the bottom in order to cover up the amount of skin shown around her thighs. This is the censored version. Unsurprisingly, upon its discovery, this bit of stealth censorship prompted outrage from excited players, many of them feeling particularly betrayed given developer ShiftUp's previous promise that the game will release uncensored. This is very true, because they did promise that. However, it's not ShiftUp's fault on this. It's Sony we are dealing with. To this end, one fan sought to take the issue directly to Kim himself. Per a translated video shared to the r Stellar Blade subreddit during an April 26th launch event for the highly anticipated action title, Kim was asked by an attendee if there had been any thinking of rolling back to the version before the censorship. In turn, the director affirmed, "Understandably, we also recognize the issue. However, the final costume that we wanted to show you is indeed the costume in version 1.002. I want to clarify this is our final product," he added. "However, I know this answer is not enough to convince our users. There is eternal discussion ongoing regarding this, so I think we'll have a chance to answer it soon." As noted above, while the patch version of the game censors the Honey Rabbit outfit, players can still access the original costume by playing the physical release and declining to update it, which I've seen a lot of people do. It works in a sense, but there's going to come a time where it's going to force you to update it. Because this is Sony we are talking about. Unfortunately for players who had hoped that the Korean action title would stand tall as a pillar of anti-censorship amidst an ever-growing puritanical media environment, this is not the only confirmed instance of censorship in Stellar Blade. In addition to the aforementioned censorship of the game's hard graffiti, players have also reported that the Day 1 patch has drastically reduced the amount of blood and gore effects featured throughout Eve's adventures. While numerous reports have flooded in regard to further censorship of even more outfits as of writing, many of these remain unconfirmed. So here's the thing. Go back to my old video that I did about the IGN France. Sorry, I'm trying to get my brain together. Where that branch was complaining about how over sexualized Eve is, when in reality that was not the case. it was based off the model, who was very, very beautiful. And history is repeating itself right before our eyes. We've had the we've had 2B get criticism despite the same actions, as well as Quiet from MSG5, but it was Hideo Kojima's thing. He wanted to make her sexy. There's a whole different topic on that regard. Bayonetta has been the subject of controversy too, and also the characters from Cyberpunk, from the recent game Cyberpunk 2077. People were bitching about that, and all of this led up to because of these stupid activists who are posing as journalists, who have no regard for gamers alike. They don't understand the gaming world. They don't understand it. At the same time, though, now that the game is out, and this is all Sony's fault, because Sony is notorious for the censorship and an M-rated game. Now Bayonetta and everything else. Look at God of War. That was so unbelievably brutal, and the sex was there. It's implicated. It's there. The mini game is there, but you can use your imagination. But the blood was really out there. But the fact of the matter is, the gore itself, Eve cut through a very, very huge monster and got covered in blood. As it should be. Because what if you busted your head open? You get blood everywhere. However, in the updated version, it's completely non-existent. There's like little splotches here and there, but not as like grotesque as it should be. And if you want further proof, EA Japan called out why Dead Space Remake couldn't get an R rating, couldn't get an an A rating, basically. Because there's dismemberment involved, there's so much going on, and a lot of stuff I really can't get into, but I would like to. And Sony has a bunch of strict policies that are ridiculous. They're ridiculous. And the biggest offender to this is Last of Us Part 2, the sex scene and the bear fucking from Baldur's Gate 3. That's completely fine, but this isn't. And it's so stupid. And also, the day one patch for the Tifa outfit for Final Fantasy 16. Oh, sorry, Final Fantasy 7. Sorry, my bad. I got them mixed up. My bad. Final Fantasy 7. This got memed to death, and it was actually pretty hilarious. But they went ahead and restored it to how it was supposed to be. And we got sexy Tifa back. However, on the bright side of things, not all the outfits are censored, which is a good thing. And Nintendo is very notorious for the censorship. I can pull it up. Nintendo censors scene of enemy Goombas catcalling female party member from Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remake. This is the original. This is the new one. You see my point? I'll go back further than that. Team Rumble, the Tawna skin. There was a skin called Watermelon Tawna. Some idiot got offended because it made Tana's skin a bit darker, like a more nicer tan look, like a darkish tan, and they bitched about it. And unfortunately, Sony, being the pandering ass clowns that they are, forced Beanox to censor it. So here is the gore. This is the demo. This is from the demo. And again, I don't have this game. This is the after launch of the patch. See, look, barely any blood. You take away the gore factor, it's not realistic. This is an M-rated title, for Pete's sake. Oh, and also for context, this is the hard R thing. That's for the context. So, anal fucking Abby from The Last of Us 2 is completely fine. And having sex with a bear is completely fine. But not this. Also, here is Yoko Taro, coming to back up his friend, Kim. Speaking of which, Mr. Kim, I wanted to ask you if there were any fights with Sony Interactive Entertainment, SIE, since they are publishing Stellar Blade. Kim glances at SCI staff members in the room and laughs. The people at SCI are very, very nice. SCI staff members are pulling faces I'd never seen before. I wish the readers of this article could see it. That is true. On top of that, Grums, who's one of the coolest people I have ever seen, like clockwork, gets threatened. These people are unhinged. People like Tone Man are unhinged. You don't threaten people over base of difference of opinion. We're trying to preserve this game as it's supposed to be. See, Jessica Cogswell is a journalist, but she's not. This is not how a journalist is supposed to act. She's an activist like Alyssa Mercante and everybody else over at Kotaku. Ridiculous. And I'm tired of people calling them journalists. It's time to call them activists. That's what they really are. Anyway, guys, I'm Anime Night 1992. What do you think about all this? Again, support Shift Up. Free Stellar Blade. We want it to be back to what we were promised by Shift Up, and Sony needs to get bent. I'm Anime Night 1992. I love you all. See y'all soon.